Hey, welcome everyone. You're tuning into the Wealthy Speaker live on LinkedIn. Today I'm hanging out with my good friend and client, Jennifer Darling, and we're talking about leveraging your LinkedIn. Welcome, Jennifer. You are just back in off the road. Are you flying high, having been in audiences?
Yeah, I call it Cloud Nine. And
Um,
I was like 3 weeks leading up to going out on the road. I was having so much anxiety about like everything you could think of. Am I going to get COVID? Am I don't feel like flying? What's it going to be like to be in front of a live audience when I haven't for 18 months? Or I should say in person because I've been in front of live virtual. And so I had so much anxiety. I was like, maybe they'll cancel. And they didn't cancel. And oh my God, it was incredible.
yeah.
So fun.
You just
So
sounded like
fun.
you were just bursting at the seams.
Oh,
And I think a lot of people are really anxious to get back out there. Many of our clients and our colleagues have been out there speaking. And so, congratulations if that's you. Our goal today is to talk to you about how to leverage LinkedIn to get more of those speaking engagements. And if you're tuning in with us on LinkedIn Live, hey, will you let us know? Let us know you're here. Let us know where you're tuning in from and whether or not, or I guess to what degree you're using LinkedIn to grow your business. Okay, so Jennifer, tell everybody what it is that you do day to day, just so people kind of understand where you're coming from.
yeah. So I am a sales and marketing strategist, and I help people like consultants and coaches and speakers to help them to really get their visibility so that more people are exposed to them so they can get more business opportunities. And
Love
I
it.
spend a large part of that on LinkedIn because most of the people I work with are looking to connect with other businesses, corporations, or business professionals as individuals too. So that's where I put all my focus.
Yeah, love it, love it. Hey, Elaine's tuning in from the farm. What'd she say? The farm. LinkedIn is a great connect too. Hey, Elaine, thanks for letting us know you are listening in today. I know you're in the middle of harvest, and I wish you all the best. It sounds like you're going to have a good year this year. Thank goodness, because I know farming is a tricky business. So yeah, if you're wanting to speak, especially to corporate and the association market, LinkedIn is where you need to spend some time playing. Now, when you advise your clients, Jennifer, how many social media channels are you typically saying? Like LinkedIn plus one other, LinkedIn plus two others? What's your advice? Because
Yeah,
sometimes people don't know how many to play on.
yeah. So I'm going to give you my advice.
Okay.
This isn't, everybody does not agree with me on this. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you
Ooh,
mine is LinkedIn and
controversial.
YouTube. Yeah.
Okay.
LinkedIn and YouTube. LinkedIn and YouTube. And that's because my ideal clients, which are business people, are on those two platforms.
Okay.
Now, there's a lot of buzz about Instagram. So if you want to do Instagram, go right ahead. But here's a secret: I don't even have an Instagram account. I canceled it because I couldn't manage all the possibilities that were out there. And
Yes.
so I keep my focus on LinkedIn, and it works good for me. And what I find is that people want to have business conversations on LinkedIn and work so well. I just came back from one event, and one of the speakers mentioned to me that they were out. They were at a networking thing. And what happened was everybody said, well, let's connect. Let's connect. What's your LinkedIn? What's your LinkedIn? And it was all about connecting on LinkedIn when you're in the business professional world.
Right.
So I would say LinkedIn, for sure, YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, for sure LinkedIn, and then YouTube, and then possibly Instagram, depending on your bandwidth, how much time you have to manage those things.
Yeah, because if you're going to be on a network, you want to make sure that you can do it well, you can do it justice. And of course, I have a team who's doing it all for me. Excuse me. And they're talking to me about expanding to TikTok. And I'm like, nah, but we're already doing video. I put the video on YouTube. I put the video on Instagram stories. I put the video on TikTok. It doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
all purposed. It doesn't matter. So I think I'm gonna suggest to people that you really find out where your people are. And as Elaine is saying right here, farmers like Twitter. If that's where farmers live, that's where Elaine
That's right.
lives. because she is an agricultural specialist. That makes perfect sense. So, you know what? You choose what network is going to be the right place for you. And there's no right
Yep.
or wrong. I think you just really need to know where your people are.
Yeah, I think so there's two factors, right? The factor number one is where are your people. The factor number two is how much time do you have to manage
Yes.
these all the different platforms.
Exactly. One of my clients has gotten booked off of a hashtag she used on Instagram. So just FYI, that's a possibility. I have gotten booked because my brilliant friend, Jennifer Darling, told me here's your first tip, by the way. When you're out there engaging on LinkedIn, make sure it's meaningful. So I saw Ross Bernstein had spoken for the Speakers Consulting Network. And I said, hey, Ross, that's an amazing group. I spoke for them several years ago. Love them so much. So I put a comment because you told me it has to be more than 5 words in order for LinkedIn to really appreciate you and put you up in their algorithm. So I did that. The next thing I know, Lois Banta, who runs the organization, says, hey, Jane, we'd love to have you back. And they've booked me for next year at full fee, I might add. So really be understanding that engagement is incredibly important.
Yes, and in fact, that leads into, I mean, that connects with what you just said, which is the number one mistake people can make on LinkedIn or any social media platform is to post all of your promotional stuff and never show up as a person,
Mm.
never show up and engage as an individual, which is why I cannot manage 5 or 6 social media platforms, because I cannot be fully engaged in 5 or 6. I can only be fully engaged in a couple. And so in LinkedIn, I know that that's so important for me that if people comment on my post, I comment back. And I see a lot of speakers and a lot of people put posts out. Maybe they're even using schedulers to schedule posts. And while that's nice, that's a good first step. The problem is you eventually seem like you're not really present on the platform if you are not going back and forth and engaging with people.
Okay, so present. So that's tip number 2. Like truly be present. See what people are talking about. Comment meaningfully. Have some dialogue back and forth with people, and that's where you're going to see some results. So the biggest challenges people have when it comes to getting leads on LinkedIn is?
Well, one of the biggest things is people think that they have a really good profile on LinkedIn and they don't.
Oh, let's
And they
talk.
don't really, yeah, they don't really know until they see a great example of what a really good profile looks like. And so I've had people come to my classes and people will say, oh my gosh, I thought I was killing it on LinkedIn until I saw your examples.
Ah,
Because we really need we need to use LinkedIn like the website. I mean, you put a lot of effort into what content goes on your website. When you're a
right.
speaker, that's such an important thing. You need to put the same effort into LinkedIn because your website, you're sending people to your website, or maybe people are searching for you and finding your website. But LinkedIn is a place where people are in and out of and getting your profile suggested all of the time. So you need to make sure that you have an amazing profile that speaks to your ideal customers in a way that's more of a marketing profile than it is, all about you, quite frankly.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, let's talk about some key features because we're going to talk about featured section. Let's talk about some key features that you're going to want to have on your LinkedIn profile. First, let's talk about the name because I have had some clients in the past who have tried to build their entire promise statement into their name. What's the best way to get across the essence of what you do?
The best way to do that is to put that information in your headline. The problem with putting all that stuff into your name,
Yes.
you see Jennifer Darling, LinkedIn speaker, or something like that in my name, I have been told by many people that decreases your searchability because that's not really your name. So it messes up how you are going to be found. And you don't want to mess up, and you don't do anything that's gonna mess up how you're found, right? So
Yes.
put your name in there and then put the meaningful comment in your headline. So what people tend to do is they tend to put their titles into the headline. It's not even called titles. It's called a headline.
Yeah,
So
okay.
put in there what you want people to know about you. And the way I look at it is, what is the outcome? What's the result? We could use what's the promise statement. That's your definition, all in the same area. Yeah. What is it that you deliver for your clients? What is it that they're looking for? How do they need help? What's the challenge you solve? That goes in the first roughly 10 words of your headline, because every single time you comment or you make a post on LinkedIn, those 10 words are what show up in your news feed. And so that is the most impressions you are going to get on LinkedIn for people to want to come to your profile. So put that in the headline.
Really, really good. Okay. The next piece, and I don't know that we'll cover too many more, but the next piece is that featured section. Now, are LinkedIn Lives going automatically into your featured section, or do you need to do that yourself manually?
I have seen them go in there automatically.
Yeah.
It can be an issue.
Yeah.
And the reason it can be an issue is because it may replace the top 2 things that should be in your featured section. Right. And it's not a LinkedIn Live. It actually should be your speaker demo video. Unless you don't have one, then a LinkedIn Live is absolutely perfect, because that's giving you, example of your style, your speaking style, who you are, your personality. So that's good. Yeah. But other than that, if you've actually created a video, then that video should go in there for speakers. Then there's a couple other things I think we should consider putting in the featured section. Do you want to know what those are?
100% I do.
I thought so. Okay, so the second thing, and I'm going to give you some things to choose from, because it just depends on what inventory you have. Right. So if you have published a book, put your book as the second thing in the featured section, because books really support your speaking business, right? So get a link in there to your book. So your speaker demo, your book. Another thing that you could do, which is my favorite, is your lead magnet. So my lead magnet is the ultimate profile checklist. So I give people a LinkedIn profile checklist so they can go make all the updates that I recommend for building your profile. Awesome. So if you have that lead magnet, put that in your featured section.
Yeah.
The fourth thing, if you don't have that, is client testimonial video. Or if you don't have clients actually, you haven't videotaped clients, you can take the text that they've given you and create a video of just the text. Nice. That would definitely go into your featured section.
Beautiful. Okay, check this out. I'm going to show those up on the screen. So in your featured section, demo reel, book, lead magnet, testimonial. Okay, so this is fantastic, Jennifer. Really helpful to be thinking about what is it that you should be putting where. Now, if anybody has any questions, Haley does have a question. Thank you, Haley, for asking, where is the featured section? It's just down, like it should be above the fold, should it not, when you're looking at your LinkedIn?
Yeah. Do you want to share your screen, or I could share? It looks like we can share screen.
Are you allowed to share your screen?
I don't know. Let's see. Well, I'm going to try it. We could try. Okay, let me just get to the right page. Okay, let's see here. Share screen. Okay, let's see. Hit share.
It's an experiment, everybody. Okay, yes. So here we go. Let me put that up. Oh, I love it. Look at that.
Are you seeing this? Okay.
I'm seeing your screen now. So if you scroll down and show us where the featured section is.
Yes.
So we didn't plan this, you guys. This is fun on the fly here. I love it. Okay, so
depending on if you have creator mode on or off, this changes a little bit. So I have creator mode off right now. We could talk about that in a moment if you'd like. Yes. So the about section comes first, and then the featured section. See here how you can only see 2.5? You don't want to put everything in your featured section, because I think people don't really click over. I just think we're kind of skimmers.
like you get two shots at it, right? So you're saying
Yep.
really be very intentional about the two things you're going to put up front, because it's very likely they're not going to scroll to the next one.
Exactly. Now, if you wanted to get super clever, I haven't done this yet, but here's a suggestion. Just make sure that you design this box to have some really great copy here, and they might click on the third box. So
Ah,
that's a way that you could take advantage of that.
your testimonial, it's like, ooh, what's that saying? I can read a little bit of it, but not all of it. So it lures you into the next one. And I love
Exactly.
the idea of doing either, we've talked about a little flip book. The idea for the testimonial, doing like a little flip book or a little video, that could be really interesting to show a
Yes.
testimonial. So let's
Yes.
just get another question going here from Sherry Darden. Thank you, Sherry. Are contact me phone numbers effective or necessary? Like in your contact session, are people used to just going straight to your like contact field and see what's how to reach you? Is that what? How do people connect with you?
Well, I think that not everybody actually knows that the contact field exists. Now,
Ah,
for people who do, you want to make sure you have intentionally put the right info in your contact section. We could talk about that. But is it necessary? Well, here's what I've been told. I was in a mastermind group with 4 meeting planners.
okay.
And what they told me is one of their number one complaints is that they cannot find the speaker email, website, phone number to contact them. And now I say all 3 of those because some of the meeting planners want to pick up the phone and call you because they don't have a lot of time. They're busy.
Yeah.
Right. And so they're not finding it on the top of your website. You need to put it there and you need to put it on the top of your LinkedIn. For that reason, I think it's necessary. What do you think, Jane?
So I agree with you, because having been a part of a speakers bureau before and booking speakers, things move really quickly. And I will move on to the next speaker if I can't find your email address, and I don't want to fill out your long form. Okay, so if I go to your contact us page and it's just a long form, I'm probably going to get annoyed and go away. So just know that we need to have it available quickly. So on your LinkedIn profile, Jennifer, how do you display that? Do you want to share your screen again and show?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there are 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 places I'm going to put my contact information
Ooh,
because I'm strategically thinking that you might stop at any place on my LinkedIn page and I need my phone number in front of your face, no matter where you stop. Okay.
love
So
that.
let's look at those. Now, one I think might be missing. So we'll see that. Okay. So let me hit share and we'll go back to LinkedIn. And when I switch over, Jane, I can no longer see our video. So I just need you to tell me that we're good. You can see my LinkedIn.
We're good. I can see your LinkedIn now.
Perfect.
So if you start scrolling, you
Perfect.
kind of show me
So
where.
yeah, I'm going to tell you the first spots are in your right here. Okay. So
Oh,
first
put it
spot,
in your banner.
I
Hello.
put it right in my banner. Book me for speaking. That's my call to action.
Oh
And
my.
then my email and my phone number.
Okay, guys, that I'm sorry, but was worth the price of admission to this LinkedIn Live today alone. Okay. Build your contact info right into your banner. Jennifer is laying down the gold here for us, people. I love that. Okay, where else?
And then, and I'll just note, you don't need to have your website in here because my email includes my website.
Yeah.
People get it. Okay. All right. The next one is this contact info button. Now, not everybody knows about it, but the people who do, we want to be purposeful. So
Okay.
what you're going to see here is my phone number, where I'm located, and you're going to see these call to action web links. Look at this. Book me for speaking for meeting planners. This
Ah,
goes directly to my speaker kit. And I have 2 websites. I'm working on fixing that. But my other one is the Ultimate Profile Checklist. So if you go to that website, then you'll get my lead magnet, right? So you can create these call to action links right here. So all the information that somebody wants is in that contact info button. That's
I
number 2.
Okay, that's number 2. What else
All
you got?
right, we're going to move down to number 3 here, which is the about section.
Okay.
One tiny mention, since we're not going to go through everything today, is as a speaker, I want you to consider adding one word to this when you write your about section, about them. This is not the place yet to talk all about how awesome and amazing you are. You want to talk about your clients' problems that you are solving in this place so that they can get the feeling of she gets me or he gets me. So that's one change we want to make in the about section. So let's scroll down here, and here you go. Call me at my phone number, and here's my email. So your about section is the 3rd place.
I gotta go. I gotta go make some changes to my LinkedIn profile. I'll be right back. Oh, this is what else?
Now, the 4th place you might consider is your experience. So your experience is where you talk about how amazing you are and why somebody needs to choose you. Like I worked at, I sold for Fox, NBC, CBS, here's all the awesome things. I need to update this. I told you the 4th place, I might not have it myself. So I'm going to recommend that everybody, including myself, add it also in your experience section. Right down here. Book me for speaking, and here's the information.
Oh,
now, these are not hyperlinks, right? So I have done with the about section and the experience section, I can't put a hyperlink in here. And so what I have done is I actually have done some profiles that give the explanation, copy and paste this link and put it in your browser. Like you might have to give, or the other thing you could do is you could add another piece of media here, which says book me for speaking. Pretend that that's what this says, and then you would be able to click through and go to their website to your website to book you. So those are like 4 or 5 different things that you can do.
Fabulous. Oh my gosh. This is such a good bit of information for everybody. Okay, so John wants to know, what about awards you are proud to display? We were kind of talking about the featured section. Where would you best say that awards might go?
So it depends on the type of award, okay? If it is a very prestigious award that needs to be recognized, it's a very high level award, then you might consider putting that in your featured section. So let's just say you're a speaker, you speak for the Building Industry Association, and you've received the Building Industry Association Speaker of the Year award. Well, that might need to go in your featured section, okay? If it is, if you're proud of it, but it's not integral to your business, I guess that's the best way to put it, then I might consider putting that in your experience section. Or there's actually an awards section on LinkedIn that you can put awards and certificates in.
Brilliant. Okay, that's great. Thank you. Now, listen, Jennifer mentioned something that she has that I think you are not going to want to miss. It's called the Ultimate Profile Checklist. And this kind of leads us in to when you book a speaking engagement, what can you do before, during, and after in order to pull people into your fan base and keep them there until they buy from you? So Jennifer has this is a lead magnet, and I love that it's so simple. You don't have to text. You don't have to remember a difficult URL. It's ultimateprofilechecklist.com. You just actually did the URL, which I think is incredibly simplistic, and I love it. So talk about why people want to get this ultimate profile checklist, and then let's talk about the before, during, and after.
Yeah, so first off, it is a massive value. I've worked very hard on creating this checklist for people, and what it does is walks you through each section of LinkedIn profile and then a few other items as well, and tells you exactly what you should be doing to upgrade your LinkedIn profile to be a marketing machine for your business. I tell you exactly what I've done from 20 years of sales and marketing experience, right? So you want to get that so you can use it as a checklist, because we'll give you a lot of help here, but the problem is it's really difficult to go do all these things overnight. So you can go just use the checklist and just in order, poop, what do I got and what do I need to do? So, and then I'll send you some emails that will follow up and give you some more in-depth information on the checklist as well.
And I want you to watch even how she does that, okay? Because everything leads to something or should. And so you book a speaking engagement. And by the way, if you're tuning in and you're loving this gold, let us know. Maybe you're on Facebook, maybe you're on YouTube, maybe you're on LinkedIn Live. We would love to hear from you in the chat box under the comments section. Just let us know and feel free to ask any questions. Okay, so you book a speaking engagement. You just got a really nice compliment from your latest speaking engagement. What was that, and what had you done?
Yes. So I'll give a huge shout out to the Financial Women in Texas, Lori Victory and Billie Jean. They put on an amazing conference in Houston. They were phenomenal.
Awesome.
And so here's what I did for that conference. And this is what I do for every in-person and virtual conference. I love to do this. So we want to help them build up promotion and excitement for their event. So I look at myself as I'm a promoter.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a speaker, but I'm a promoter, and I want them to have a full experience hiring me. I'm not just going to show up, do my thing, and leave. So I start by helping them promote their conference. What I do, I'm so excited to be speaking at the Financial Women in Texas, and then I tag my people who are most important to that. I might also say, oh, I'm very excited to be speaking the Financial Women in Texas event with my friend Kim Becking, who's an amazing motivational speaker. So beforehand, I'm building up excitement for their event with the event planners and also with maybe with the other speakers as well. Side note, I even go connect with the other speakers and say, see, we're speaking together. I would love to meet you at the conference. And I make a lot of new friends that way. And I love that.
Nice.
Okay. Yes.
So then you're at the event. How do you pull that whole audience in with you so that they're seeing the things that you're doing on the value that you're creating on a regular basis?
So I did this by mistake and I love it. So I showed up for this conference and it was the CAPS conference, the first time I spoke at the CAPS conference.
Oh, and I was there in your audience.
Yeah, and I stood at the registration desk. It's kind of morphed since then, but I stood at the registration desk and I literally introduced myself to all the people coming in. And I asked if they wanted to take some social media shots. And so I continued, that was so popular, I continued to do that. So what I did at BMW and the Financial Women in Texas event, those were the last two events I spoke at, is I basically become part of the event and I go around and say, let's take social media pictures. I take pictures with the audience members. And then what I do is I take a picture of their badge. Now, this is really, really important. I have no way of being able to manage who all I took pictures of. So if I take a picture of their badge, then I can go back later, post a picture, and tag the people. And so I'm helping this conference really promote the excitement. Like I'm their social media person. Now, you don't even have to be a social media person to build social media buzz, right?
Right.
So help them build that buzz. They love it. Mm-hmm. So that's what I do during. And then when I'm on stage, I've already made a whole lot of friends.
You have. And
because we've connected.
And then you also offer up your ultimate profile checklist from the stage so that they can take a piece of you home with them. But guess what, everybody? When you go to ultimateprofilechecklist.com, you're going to put in your name and email address. And now Jennifer has taken from the control being out of her hands to putting it in her hands. And that's what you want to do for yourself as well. Okay. And then anything after?
Yeah, so after I'll go back and thank the venue hosts, If I miss some pictures, I'll post the pictures. Also, when I'm speaking, I will ask people if they'd like to take a selfie with me. And then I say, would you promise me you'll post it on LinkedIn and tag the people? I made a really good friend, Victoria Caldwell, just doing this, and she's amazing. And so
Yes.
yesterday or the day before, she went on and made a post about being at the BMW conference. She tagged me. She posted pictures of BMW. She posted pictures of me. It was so amazing. And then I'm going to support her back by going and engaging with her on the post. And now we're supporting each other, and we're supporting the event because we're raising the visibility of that post.
So the power of that is that now Victoria's followers all know Jennifer Darling and vice versa. And I think that's what it's all about. Love it. Elaine says, great friends connect and encourage each other.
Mm-hmm.
Rock on, Jennifer. Elaine, you might have met Jennifer at that very first CAPS
Oh,
meeting.
yeah.
CAPS, by the way, for anybody who's unfamiliar, is the Canadian version of the National Speakers Association. It's Canadian Association of Professional Speakers. We have a virtual conference coming up in December, so maybe we'll see you at that too. So, okay. I want to cover SSI score because I teased it out a little bit on social media. So when it comes to figuring out, okay, first of all, maybe we better tell everybody what an SSI score is for somebody who does not know.
So SSI stands for Social Selling Index. And if you remember Clout score used to measure your activity basically across multiple social media platforms. It doesn't exist anymore,
Right.
But LinkedIn still does the same thing today, which is measure your engagement on LinkedIn. And it's pretty cool because you can use it to figure out what might I need to do to really beef up my presence on LinkedIn. And if you're not getting a lot of engagement, you might start to look at your social selling index and see, well, what do I need to do to help to improve this? Now, Jane's put the link that you can go and grab yours. She put it right on the screen, so you could just copy that. You don't get there right through LinkedIn. It's a separate link. You'll notice linkedin.com/sales. There you go. And there's Jane's right there. Now, I want to point out something that I think is integral to our conversation today, especially about you getting booked for speaking. It's all about you connecting with people. It's all about you building relationships with people. It's not as much about you just putting content out, content. See this, the bars on the right-hand side, there are 4 of them. And they add up to the total score of 100, which is the pie chart on the left. Of these bars, the bottom 3, 75% of the points, they add up based on you engaging with other people. So if you're just posting and not engaging with other people, your social selling index is not going to be as strong. You need to communicate with people on LinkedIn to help you. And that's because LinkedIn is a networking platform. It's a virtual business networking platform. And so we also are there looking for business news and information. And as speakers, you are advisors. You're trusted advisors. You are thought leaders in your industry. You're experts in your field, and therefore you do want to give out valuable information. I write articles, I post documents, I make regular posts, I post some videos, trainings. All of those things will go to help you improve your social selling index as well.
Now, I want to say, let me go ahead and stop share. I want to say that when I met Jennifer, I believe my score was in the 40s. I was incredibly unintentional about LinkedIn. And she helped me raise my profile. She helped me recognize what type of engagement to do. And I'm not there yet, but hey, I am way farther ahead than I was. I think I'm ranked top 2% or something in my industry. And I'm very, very proud of that. And that was all Jennifer. Hey, funny thing, Amazon's at my door. So the dog is going to bark. So just everybody prepared.
Well, when your dog barks, My dog's probably going to bark. You see, my office assistant is here with me
I'll
today.
mute. I'll mute. So you need to take it away. Okay, so talk about what are some low-hanging fruit somebody can do to immediately change their social selling index?
Yes. So some of the low hanging fruits are, one thing is make sure your profile is completed. That's a big one. And that's more like a check, yes or no. Did she complete all the pages, all the sections of the profile? So you definitely want to do that. One of the other things that you might consider doing is, if you are blogging, let's just say you're a blogger or you're sending out a regular email to your list, which I highly encourage you to do. That's what helps you get booked for additional speaking engagements and helps you grow your visibility and helps you connect and build relationships with people.
Mm-hmm.
Is to take those same blogs and publish them in articles. There's an article tab in LinkedIn. You may notice sometimes people get frustrated because they see that I haven't gotten a ton of views on my articles, and they get a little frustrated. But here's the thing. One, it helps improve your whole profile, so your whole profile is more visible. The
All right.
second thing is high level decision makers. 45% of high level decision makers read articles.
Wow.
So
Okay.
so you will know that these people who make decisions actually like to read articles. If I only have one decision maker, one view read my article and they hire me, awesome. It was totally worth it. Plus
Okay.
you're writing them anyway.
Yeah, very, very good. Okay, that's very helpful because I have been a little bit disappointed about some of the articles that I have put out there, thinking that, oh, this is going to be really hot. You know what? You never really know what's going to be viral. The last LinkedIn Live that you and I did, I think we had over 1,000 views, so that was pretty cool. And so I expect that we'll see some activity from this one too. Now, hey, we've only got a few minutes left, everybody. If you have a score, if you have a question for Jennifer about LinkedIn and about your profile, please post it now, and we will make sure that we get to that before we close out our time here. So when it comes to your LinkedIn profile, if we were to give people kind of like one big picture piece of advice, make sure you don't miss this, what might that be?
I want to make sure that you understand that your LinkedIn profile is like having a magazine article in a magazine where all your best prospects are. What is it you would say to them? Right? You hopefully wouldn't start with, I am so amazing. I am an award winning lead, blah, 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 because that's what they hear. Right? Instead, you would talk about, you're not getting enough sales in your business.
Mhm.
Sales, this is the first major shift in sales. And my entire lifetime has just happened in the last 18 months to more visual. I'm trying to combine words now, Jane. Digital. I do that. I like to make up words.
Yes.
Digital or virtual sales, right?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
a huge change. And so I know my ideal customers are struggling with that. My ideal customers are struggling with, how are they going to show up online as a leader, because we're doing a lot of work online now, right? So how do they want to show up and take advantage of that? So you need to be talking to your ideal customers about what are the struggles that they're having on their plates right now today that you can help them solve. That's what your profile needs to focus on.
Okay. All right. I want to two things. Number one, how often should we update or keep the information fresh?
As often as needed, and that may not be very often. Although I will say, go look at your profile today, especially since you're here, Sherry. I had a client not too long ago. I think it was a client. It could have been a friend, a colleague. They had put an article, or they had referenced something from 2018 leadership. And I said, you know what? I got to tell you, anything before 2020 in my book is no longer relevant. Like,
Yeah.
so don't talk about research from 2018, because that's not going to keep you fresh and relevant. What are you learning now that is important to your ideal clients?
That's really good. Okay. when you connect, this is final question. When you connect with people on LinkedIn, you have a saying of something that you would prefer people don't do. What is that saying?
Do not pitch slap people. Nobody likes to be pitch slapped, right? You don't like it. We don't like it. What I mean by that is most people, 99% of people, I could say, I think with strong conviction, do not like to connect and receive your sales pitch in your promotion. It throws them off. It puts them off. It does work in large numbers because you're gonna, one out of every 100 or 1,000 might say yes. But the problem is you've just probably turned off 99% of the other
It happens to
people.
me every day, 10 times a day. People connect with me and then they pitch slap me. And I have to say that I'm like, okay, I don't even answer. I'm like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, back to SSI score. John wants to know, what's a good SSI score? What's our goal? To be above what?
John, I would shoot for above 70.
Above 70. Okay, so I'm just squeaking by there. I think I was 74 or something. Okay, I want to offer everybody our lead magnet, Where to Find the Money in Speaking.
Ooh.
We have a program. We have a PDF outlined for you that shows you exactly the breakdown of all the industries and where the money is, everybody. So I hope you will go and check out Where to Find the Money in Speaking. The URL is up on your screen, speakerlauncher.com/where-money. Hopefully that URL. Unfortunately, here on Restream, we're not able to drop links in as we go to the chat. I don't think that works as a back and forth. We only get your chats. So I wish that would change so that we could share links on the fly, but we can go back to the LinkedIn live chat and we can add the link there into the comments. So I'll do that as well. So Jennifer, you could do that as well. Or one of us can post them both.
Awesome. And I have this, Jane.
Yes.
I have it recently. I wish I would have had it a long time ago. So make sure that you get this. It is so valuable. I love it.
Awesome. And we're going to make sure that they also get the ultimate profile checklist you do not want to miss. And, what an easy way. This is low hanging fruit for you to just go and kind of, thank you, Sherry, for sharing the Where to Find the Money link. I appreciate that. And you definitely want to make sure that you're looking through the checklist to ensure that your LinkedIn is where it needs to be. Jennifer, we have had such a lively conversation today. I cannot wait for our next conversation. Thank you so much for taking the time. Hey, we have had a beautiful audience here today, don't you think?
Yes, I'll give a huge shout out to Sherry and John
Sherry
and
John.
Elaine.
We've had Elaine, thank you. We have Olan
Riwaju.
Waju. I apologize. I didn't do that justice. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've loved having you. And we'll sign off with thanks for being here, everybody. And we'll see you soon, Wealthy Speakers. Bye for now.